Hello viewers, this is Mentors the Main Show with Olumide Benson, where we still showcase brand to global audience and still ensure that such brand is well positioned for global patronage. We have been on a discourse with respect to the 7 major guide to owning or starting a business, and we've been able to trash it from the first to the 6th point. We talked about the fact that the first thing that you need is an idea. We move to the second one as a know-how, and we also move to the third as an intrinsic value, which has to do with your passion, your drive, and your willpower. We move to the 4th one. We talked about the fact that after all the intrinsic value that you need, the next thing is for you to source for fund, which is the finance. And then we also move to talk about the fact that you need to now have a working strategy, which is the 5th. And we also talked about the fact that after you must have had a working strategy, then you must be able to put your business in a way that it will start generating profit. Now today we're going to be talking about the 7th point. It has been established that you have all it takes to be able to start a business, and then your business is as good as a business that is existing. So having a business that is now existing, having put down a structure for you to be able to for your business to be able to commence, then there must be something that will make the business to continue, which means that today we'll be focusing on what it takes to be able to sustain the new business, the existing business that you have just started. So today the topic is just the sustaining new business. So we're going to be looking at the things that are needed for us to be able to sustain a new business. Firstly, I must emphasize here that we need to have at the back of our mind that whatsoever business we are starting out is not new, in the sense that there must have been something or someone somewhere who must have done something very similar to what you're doing. So it may not be absolutely new, and for the fact that someone somewhere must have been doing something very similar, it means that you must also be competing for same market, if not absolutely same market, but similar market, so to say. So for this, there must be a way through which you must be able to ensure that after all said and done, you get patronage to be able to keep your business going, because the only thing that requires for you to be able to keep your business going is the necessary patronage, having put all things together to start this business. So the question now is, how do you now get this necessary patronage for a business that just commenced? The first thing that you need to look at to be able to get the necessary patronage for the business that just commenced, and to be able to get a continuous patronage, is that you need to create awareness. Having started this business, there must be a way in which you must be able to make your market aware of the business that you have just started, or the product that you are just introducing to the market. Now, creating this awareness is a very sensitive aspect of the business. So the question now is, how do you now create this awareness? There are several ways to create awareness for a starting business. The first thing that you do, which most times we do subconsciously, is the word of mouth. We create awareness by talking to people, letting people know about the business that we just started. We talk to family and friends, we talk to everyone that we can reach out to. So how do you now create awareness that will not be too much to bear with respect to the resources that you have put in place, and with the fact that this is a business that has not started generating profit, it's just a business that has just started? So the first thing I'm going to say with respect to this, or how I'm going to guide you with respect to creating awareness, is that you must try as much as possible to leverage on inexpensive advertising and marketing, in the sense that you must take advantage of every forum or every fora that you can use to be able to market your business while you also advertise your business. This may be one of the inexpensive for your business, maybe the social media, it may be your network of friends, it may also be maybe your associates. Basically what we're trying to say is that you must ensure that when you are advertising a new business, you must ensure that you are taking advantage of a less or inexpensive medium, in relation with the fact that this is a business that is just getting into the market. Even though the business needs so much publicity, but at the same time the investment you are putting into the publicity must not be too much, in respect to the fact that your profit is not going to come as soon as possible. So it is very mandatory that we have it at the back of our mind that when we are starting up a business and we are trying to create awareness, we must be very careful, and we must ensure that we are creating an awareness that is not too expensive compared to the rate at which we'll be able to make profit, considering the fact that this business is just starting, knowing fully well that people do not buy what people don't buy what they don't know, and people don't buy what they don't trust. But over time, you will be able to use your advertisement to be able to convince and then educate people about your product. But while doing that, you must also be careful that people may not patronize instantly. So within the period of time through which you will have to be spending money to continue the advertisement or continue the marketing, then you must ensure that you're not spending too much that you can bear. Now, having looked at that, one other sensitive point that we need to consider in order for us to be able to sustain our newly started business is that we need to also look at the affordability and the accessibility of technologies that we can take advantage of. In another word, what I'm trying to say is that we should embrace accessible and affordable technology, in the sense that for every activity that we're going into, there must be some technology that will be able to aid our output, in the sense that if it is production in places where we are supposed to use some level of labor, if machineries are available, such machineries can help us reduce the stress that will be involved. Such machineries can also help us to reduce the time that will be spent on those production. Such machinery can also help us to also increase our output, and at the same time help us to reach out to a large number of audience than what we would have done if we are not employing technology. So in a nutshell, what I'm just trying to say is that for every business activity that we intend to go into, or that we have started, there must always be some technology that we can take advantage of in order for us to be able to speed up or to be able to improve our performance or output. So another point we also need to look at when it comes to a new business that is just penetrating the market is that we need to look at the mode of pricing, in the sense that there are so many competitors for most products that we will be introducing into the market, or for the service that we will be introducing into the market. So we need to be very careful in terms of fixing our price for such services, in the sense that the existing market already have the existing product or the existing service that is always being patronized. So for us to be able to penetrate the market, we must be very careful that we are not bringing up prices that will be discouraging. We are not bringing up prices that is much more than what our target market are used to, considering the fact that if an alternative is available and then the alternative that has been known over time is giving a lesser price, it may be difficult for us to penetrate the market. Even when we have a better service to render, it may still be a bit difficult for us to be able to penetrate the market, looking at the fact that our service is not yet known, and we still have to do some certain things to be able to convince the market that our service is probably better than the service that has been known before. So for us to be able to do that, now the pricing is a key thing. They will need to patronize us first for them to be convinced that our price is better. So for us to be able to convince them to patronize us, they will need to be careful not to get them discouraged as a result of our pricing. So I may not really say that we should use the style of reducing our pricing below the normal price that the market is used to, which is another method that we can adopt if we deem it fit. But I'm just saying here that we need to be very careful and ensure that our pricing at the startup does not go beyond what the market may have been used to, even when we have a better service or a unique service or a service that has not even been rendered before to render. So I think that that's one thing we also need to look at. Now we also need to look at the way with which we deliver our services. If it is product, we need to be sure that we are engaging a packaging methodology that is attractive and that is appealing. And if it's also a service, we must also ensure that we are delivering our service in a way that is decent enough that how our patronizers will appreciate. Meaning to say that it will not be too good if we have to deliver a service and then those who are patronizing us can only patronize us once and may not want to come back again. Now for you to be able to get your customers retained, and that's what we're really trying to talk about, is that you must be able to present your service or your product in a way that it will continue to be appealing at all time, and then creating attraction from the market. Then the market will find the need to be able to patronize this product over and over again as long as it is well packaged, it is decently packaged, and it is appealing to our audience. Now, another point that we also need to look at is that having started a business and we need to sustain this business, we must build a very cordial customer relationship. Customer relationship in the sense that we must be able to manage our customers that we've been able to get as soon as we've started the business, and at the same time we must also be able to retain them. Now, building a good customer relationship has to do with majorly the intrinsic value, or the value that our company or our organization has set to deliver. This is to say that the customer relationship is a key that will sustain our business, in the sense that we must be able at every point in time to make sure that we satisfy our customer. We must look for methodology that will always ensure that our customer gets satisfaction from whatever service or whatever product we are rendering. And in order for us to be able to ensure that our customer gets satisfaction from whatever service or product we are rendering, it means that we must develop a method or an avenue for feedback from our customers. And as long as that is available, then we will be able to assess the customer satisfaction. And it is when we are able to assess the customer satisfaction, that is when we can now build on the relationship to be able to retain the customer. Another very sensitive point we also need to look at when it comes to sustaining a good business is that we need to build a good social network. For someone who has just started a business, or for a company, or for a group of people that have just started a business, we need to understand that there is need for us to keep a good social network of people who can always patronize our services, in the sense that our social network oftentimes are what we can leverage on to be able to get our services to be patronized, sometimes by emotion. The reason why we need such emotional appeal for business that are just starting up is that you need an avenue. You need somebody. For every business, we all need someone, we need an organization that will show empathy to be able to give us the opportunity for us to be able to prove our honors. It is only when you have the opportunity to prove what you can deliver, that is when you can now build the credibility. But when the opportunity is not available, when the avenue is not available for you to prove what you can deliver, then you cannot build any credibility. Now, in you trying to prove what you can deliver, remembering the fact that there are several competitors competing for the same market that you have. Now, it is what will now give you an advantage, despite your ability to deliver efficiently. What also will give you an advantage for you to be able to penetrate and make use that avenue, stand on that platform to be able to prove your credibility. Sometimes, in quotes, we have to do with your relationship with such people or with such market that you are trying to market. That is that as regards building a social network for our businesses. So at this point, I will just want to round up the 7 points with respect to sustaining our businesses. Let's just have it at the back of our mind that good wine no longer sells itself. So for every business that has just started up, there's need for us to keep a conscious relationship of putting the information about our business in the mind of our consumers, or in the mind of our patronizers, so that at every point in time such needs arise for them to engage such service, or for them to want to buy such products. Our own product will come up in their, or our services or our company will surface in their subconscious, and then will also be a point of call. So at this point, we need to have it at the back of our mind that for us to be able to sustain any new business or any product that we are just introducing into the market, we need to be conscious of the fact that we are now in a competitive era where every service or every product that we may be introducing to the market has got several competing products that has been there before your own product or before your own service. So which means to say that we are in a world of competition where good wine no longer sells itself. So for good wine to sell itself, it means that the good wine must always, at every point in time, continue to create a continuous awareness and a kind of reminder that we give his or her market the ability that will create the consciousness of such products and services in the mind of the market or the target audience. So at this point, I'll just want you to just subscribe to our YouTube channel and then send us your comments via our social media and news. You can always get us on mentorsminttv on Facebook. Same you can do with LinkedIn. Same you can do with Instagram, and same you can do with Twitter. Cheers.